Motivation, meditation, inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. So let's go ahead and start talking about what it takes. What does it require on a daily basis to get to the place where you want to go? The types of challenges that you want to face off against on a daily basis and the things that you want to go through. So when we start to focus, we start to utilize what we do have. So if it's not about motivation, if it's not about meditation, if it's not about inspiration, then what is it? And that's the reason why I say if it's not about one of the three, I don't want it. Because what I focus on is that. I focus on the ability to focus, the ability to utilize what we do have, utilize the challenges that we go through on a daily basis. Studying masters in this world to focus for hours on end helps out in a lot of ways. Ultimately, what we recognize is that what we go through on a daily basis is that the challenges that we're facing off against each day are there for us. They're there for you, they're there for me. And how we have the ability to overcome them is when we start to achieve our dreams, when we start to achieve our goals. When things start to become possible for us, that's when the reflection on the outside starts to shine. And so when a person starts to become focused, when a person starts to get into their own challenges, blessings. Hello. Blessings.
Hello. Hi.
So where
Can
you
you hear me?
I can hear you. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling you from Latvia.
From where?
I'm calling you from Europe.
Oh, blessings. I've been to Europe before.
Yes, okay. Okay, I got two questions for you. One of them, how can I handle stress at work? I'm trying everything, but I can't get over it. I'm always in stress.
Always under
What is
stress.
your best advice for
It's
that?
as a person in Europe.
Oh,
I'm doing my part here. So, exactly. I'm going to answer this question. Give me 1 second. So, I'm going to answer this question from a professional level on how to deal with it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, at a certain point, now I live in Arizona. Before I lived in California. At a certain point, I had to work for Chrysler, which I was working 50, 60 hours a week, and I was driving 35 to 40 hours a week. Now, this is 100 hours a week. And during the time I was doing that, I ended up only finding that the thing that mattered was how well I focused, which means for an entire year, the only thing I was doing was working 100 hours a week, an entire year. Now, how I overcame that was I recognized that focus is greater than the time that we have, which means that you can get a lot more out of putting yourself in a place where the things that you do don't master you, but you master them. Do you understand?
Okay, yeah.
So it's like a mountain in front of you. When you're on the other side of the mountain looking down it, how does it feel?
Pretty good, right?
Right. So it's not the up mountain that matters. The up mountain has the down mountain.
Okay. I got a second question for you. Do you really believe that every dream is important?
So here's the thing. If it's somebody else's dream, then it's not important. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes, it's like my family always, like, some of them are like, you should never do this, you should never do that, and I'm like, why not if
Okay.
I'm dreaming of it?
Let me ask you a question. Can you focus?
Partly.
Okay. Do you have knowledge inside of yourself? Okay. If you have the two of those, the piece that's missing is ourselves.
Yes.
So what I'm saying to you is, if you can write stuff down, if you can speak stuff out, if you can listen to positivity, if you can take the things that are not meant for you to be there, then the ultimate result is that those things become a result. It's not supposed to happen by accident. Things that happen by accident, that are these little lucky things that happen, are just a part of the universe working in your favor. Do you understand?
Okay, that means I gotta work for it and nothing happens by accident, right?
What I'm saying to you is, when you're focused, the things that are not meant for you move out of the way.
Okay, you look pretty serious now.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that the things that are meant for you come in your direction when you are focused.
Alright, yeah, I got it.
So what's not meant for you moves out of its way on its own.
Yeah.
So it's not to look at the uphill mountain. It's to look at the top of the mountain and to focus on your path and on your journey. See, a lot of people forget the foundation. They put it on somebody else or somebody else to do it for them. And that's what happens, is that we don't put it inside of ourselves to be ourselves, right? I'm sitting here right now at the home of my parents. Well, it's actually my brother's, working with my brother. My wife left me over a year ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Don't worry. It's okay. Here's the thing. Everything that we do with a focused mentality brings us closer to our dreams and our goals. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Okay?
I do.
So, by being by myself, what ultimately happened is it brought me closer to what I wanted to become. So that means that what's not meant for me moved out of its way on its own. You with me?
Yes, I'm still with you.
So
I got you.
that's what I'm just trying to throw one out there from a place. I was with the person for 8 years. I wasn't who I am inside. Okay? You know, I was a completely different person for somebody else. And what I...
Is your brother behind you? Hey, that was your brother?
That's my brother. Yep.
Say hi to him for me. Hi.
Sure. He ended up leaving the room, but the point is that you're looking at the pothole instead of the road.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? If you have a car and you hit a pothole, you keep moving forward, right?
Yes. But you know what? Life is a bumpy road anyways.
Definitely, 100%. They did a study. People were saying that their lives were like a straight line, right? And then all of a sudden, this one came. And it's like the scribbly lines, and it's really that the foundation starts to see clearly. So, from what happened to me was I was working 100 hours a week. I had no time for my wife, so I quit working for the dealership and I continued to drive. I was doing Uber on the side. I ended up doing that more. I ended up making more money doing that than doing both. Then my companion decided that's not what they wanted. So they wanted to make our lives better, so they went and started their own journey on their own path of doing culinary. And through doing that, they ended up going to Europe and to Madrid, Spain. And I came to Europe for 40 days, and I was out there. And I came back, and I continued working, and my vehicle broke down on me. So I'm not saying that there's not things that are going to be hard that are in front of us. We all know this. And then I had to rent a vehicle, and I continued to drive at the same exact time because my wife had got injured before she went to school. She ended up breaking my car, so I had 2 broken cars, so I had to rent a car at this point. I continued driving. We lost our apartment. I had to move in with a roommate. The roommate kicked us out because I was trying to save her life and my own life. So I ended up in a car by myself for 3 months asking my wife to come back. And you know what? I found myself in that time. And so I was meditating in a sauna. I got all the way up to 5 hours one day, where I stayed inside the sauna and off and on for an additional 3 hours because I was willing to help out other people. What I'm trying to say is that when we're focused and the foundation is on focus, okay, what happens is we have two breaths. We have an incoming breath, we have a center, which is ourselves, and we have an outgoing breath. Now, that incoming breath is focus. It's an absorption. And what happens is it gets twisted. It all goes outwards instead of comes inwards. And so that doesn't let the knowledge inside of yourself work properly. It starts to create coils inside of yourself. Your elevation stops elevating itself like as if you're climbing the mountain. And so what happens when that happens is we feel overwhelmed. So it's never about how many hours you work. It's about how you do with what you have. Do you understand?
Yes, I do get it. I really get it. Thank you.
It's okay.
I got you.
It's a blessing when the universe starts working as a tool for you. But the foundation to that tool is focus. Until this becomes a tool, all of that out there is worth nothing.
Hey, I just got a third question for you. Do you believe in higher powers or God or something like that?
So what I believe is that there's one God. And that we were created in His image, and that we have this universe in front of us that we can utilize. That we are tools in this universe that need to recognize that we have the possibility to use what we have, that it's never about what we don't have, it's what we have inside that gives us the ability to use this universe. As this universe uses us as a tool when we use this universe as a tool.
Okay, you said you believe in one God. What is His name?
So, all throughout all the time, the name of the God is Alpha Omega. So this goes to all religions across the face of the earth. So this is that creator of this universe. That is that Alpha and Omega. So there's basically, in that sense, there is that. Now, if you look farther down, you start talking about the gateway. That's the source. Okay?
What is the source?
Okay, so
What directly is the source?
So this universe was created by a creator. The creator of this universe.
I get it, yeah. I know.
So throughout this earth, different people recognize the source. So once it goes beyond the source, then it's talked about as the gateway. Do you understand what I'm saying now?
I'm not really sure, actually.
So, for instance, for Christians, the gateway is Jesus Christ.
Same for me, actually.
So this means that if Jesus Christ did not do what the Creator asked Jesus Christ to do and die on the cross, then He would not have saved mankind. So what I'm saying is that throughout the earth there's people that have prayed to that Creator, including Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And His name is Alpha Omega.
Okay, maybe let me talk to your brother instead. Come on.
He's not in the room. They already left. He had to go do his stuff.
I'm really sorry for that.
It's okay. But just realize what I'm saying is that this universe is for you. It's the people who turn this thing into a blessing that end up finding the blessings here.
Okay. I've got so much questions, but think how seriously that God, what is in the universe, takes your prayers? How seriously?
So, so here's what it is. When you put 100% on God and you put nothing on yourself, then the amount of prayer that comes towards your way is very little. When you put 100% on you and 10% on God, what happens?
Well, what happens? Tell me.
Well, what happens is this universe created by God starts to work in your favor.
All right.
So what that says to me is that when I get to the point where I fail, that's where God steps in.
Well, you know what? Actually, for me, sometimes I feel like, to be honest, like God is not there for me. Like He's playing games on my life. Like, where is He when I need Him the
So the
most?
reason why is because first you have to do everything that you can do, and you have to recognize that the universe is a tool of God. The same tool of this universe is for all of us as well. Give me one moment, please. See, that's the reason why people fail, is because they don't see the positive in failure.
Okay, sometimes I see positive in the failure. Okay, sometimes I do really see that.
I understand.
But most of the time, no.
So, in other words, first recognizing that focus is important. Okay? So, if you choose not to get out of bed, what happens? You don't move, right? So anyways, back to focus. So I guess we lost the connection there. And so what I want you to recognize is that when we put ourselves in a place where we focus to that level, where we get down to who we are on the inside, where the challenges that we face off against are available to us, when we get to that place where we continue when others would just give up, when others would say it's not possible, and you believe that it can be possible, that you can achieve those